Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another eyeshadow palette review video. This is another one that was super highly requested from you guys. I posted on my stories and triple confirmed that you guys definitely wanted to see it and the majority of you did. So, Naked Reloaded. So, Urban Decay basically discontinued their original Naked palette and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty devastated because it was my most loved and most used out of the entire Naked palette collection. I do really like Naked Cherry though, but still the original Naked, I just loved the color scheme in and I just thought it was beautiful. Basically, they've discontinued it and then this here, Naked Reloaded, is kind of like the replacement for it. So pretty much what we're gonna do today is test this guy out. I'm gonna be swatching all of the shades in this, letting you guys know what the formula is like. I'm gonna be creating a look on my eyes. We're obviously gonna compare it to the original Naked, and I'm also going to compare it to some other eyeshadow palettes. A lot of people think that this one potentially might look very, very similar to Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam, so we're going to do a little side-by-side of that. But yeah, basically I'm just pretty excited to actually open this up and have a look and see what we're working with. So yes, if you want to see a full swatch demo and review video on the brand new Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette, then please keep on watching. So this is what the palette looks like. So the external packaging, like the cardboard box that it comes in. It's very, very pretty. It's got like a bunch of information and like ingredients and stuff on the back there. It's very reflective. It's really, really pretty. So, what does the packaging look like? I don't even know. Oh, it's like satin. Oh. This is really, really pretty. I think they're flowers. Yeah, they're flowers on the, I think it's like a pattern of flowers. Kind of look like something else. How naked are we talking here? What? The external packaging is absolutely beautiful. So it's still material, but it's like this beautiful soft sort of satin. And then it's got Naked Reloaded in like gold foil print there on the front. It's honestly really, really pretty. You got Urban Decay at the top. You got ingredients on the back. The satin's got like a really soft sheen to it. Now, firstly, I will say, even though I am not at all a fan of material packaging, just because, I mean, for me, you know, coming from a professional artistry background, like makeup has to be sanitary. I like things kept clean when we're working with our faces. Yeah, so basically I'm not a huge fan of material packaging, but I gotta tell you, based on the texture and the feel of this, this is gonna get a whole lot less dirty than the original like felt packaging. It's really, really pretty. So let's open it up. Ooh, interesting. Okay. For starters, I mean, the mirror's got a cover on it, but that satin packaging actually extends into the inside of the lid. So if you do get shadows, like the bottom of the palette here is hard plastic, but if you do get shadows like down here, it's going to transfer up here and probably get quite grubby. I mean, we will find out and see. The actual inside is stunning though. It looks absolutely beautiful and it looks like a really nice balance of shades. You've got warms, you've got cools, you've got neutrals. Oh, they've actually increased the size. These two shadows at the end are actually, they look like they're bigger pans. They're obviously like the transition shades or the base shades. I guess they're assuming that they're the shades that you would use the most. They're really, really pretty. You've got shimmers, you've got mattes. Hopefully you can get a really good look at them. Beautiful shimmers. This one here nearly looks like a pressed glitter. I'm loving the look of these like neutral sort of crease shades. Oh, this one here, retro. Love that. Got a gold shimmer, you got some sort of burgundy shimmers, you got a deep dark brown. Really, really, really pretty. All right, so I've just quickly grabbed the original. Mine is so beat up. Like, I think this is the first. Oh, it's very, very, very different to the original. Huh, okay. So, Naked Original, and then, oh, I was going to show you upside down. I always do that. Get it together, woman. So, Naked Reloaded versus Naked Original there at the bottom. As you can see, the color theme, the color story is very, very different in the new one in comparison to the old one. The old one's got like some grays and a green in it, whereby it doesn't... This one doesn't really seem to. It's very tricky for me to tell 100% until I've actually tried it because sometimes things look very different in the pan to how they look in the palette. And this also, I'm going to grab Naked Heat quickly. Okay, so here is Naked Heat in comparison to Naked Reloaded. I've got it upside down, but we're just going to have to, okay, fine, I'll flip it. It's a much closer color story to the Naked Heat, definitely. It's definitely got more warm undertones through it. But the Naked Reloaded does also have cool tones and neutrals as well. And for all of you wanting to see it next to Soft Glam, I've got Soft Glam here. So Soft Glam, this is what Soft Glam looks like. There's certainly some shades in Soft Glam that are missing from the Naked Reloaded. And then this is the Naked Reloaded. I mean, very similar, sort of at first glance. And there are definitely some crossovers for sure, but as an overall rule, very, very different. All right, so basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you all the swatches of this, and we're going to have a look at what the shades actually look like on my skin, and then we're going to get into doing a full look using the palette. We all know I'm probably going to want to use Dreamweaver. Let's be real. Oh, actually, quickly, before we get into the swatches, let's have a look at the price of this. So on the Urban Decay website, this one retails for $44 US. Now that's slightly lower than the other Naked palettes. Like the Naked Cherry I can see here is $49. Naked Heat is $54. I can't see the Naked. Oh, yes, I can. The Naked 2 and the Naked 3 are also, from what I can tell, $54, although they do say engraved me, so maybe there's an extra charge for that. So it's definitely cheaper, $44 US. And it is available here in Australia at Mecca Maxima stores, and it's for sale here for 69 Australian dollars. So yeah, those are the pricings. Let's do these swatches now. All right, so here's an overall look at the color palette and the color theme of this one. It's sort of definitely leaning more towards the warm side. So first we have a matte bone kind of a color. We have a shimmery gold. We have this sort of shimmery champagne color. This one's more of like a translucent sort of topper glitter kind of a color. Pretty matte coral. We then have two shimmery coppery burgundies. We've got a lighter one and then like a deeper one with more of like a browny kind of an undertone. Then we have a really deep, dark, like matte brown. Then we've got two bronze shades. One's a little bit more cool tone there. Hopefully you can see as I'm sort of like rotating. A little bit more cool tone. And then the second one's a little bit more warm tone. Then we have a beautiful matte, or two beautiful matte browns, a really cool tone one, and then a really warm orangey toned one. And then finally like a light cream color. And then here they all are again. Definitely very, very pretty palette. All right, so those are all of the swatches. We're going to move into the eye look. I have just quickly done my brows and also primed my eyes. I'm doing things a little bit backwards today. I've got no foundation on. I'm going to do my foundation after I've done my eyes, just because I think I might be filming a foundation routine today. An updated one. Finally, you've all been asking for so long. So, right, let's move into this palette. Now, a couple of things that I did notice with the swatches. Firstly, this shade here, Dreamweaver, was unfortunately quite disappointing. It's very, very loose, very, very chunky. It's sort of more of like a top coat as opposed to like a full-on like pressed glitter shimmer kind of a shadow. Also Angel Fire here. This one's more of a glittery sort of top coat as well. Yeah, just both of these shades, they just weren't that opaque. Everything else was gorgeous. The mattes were very creamy, very smooth. The shimmers were very creamy and very smooth. Everything else is pretty good, but let's move on into doing a look now. I'm going to start, and also Bucked. Holy crap, that is one of the prettiest eyeshadow colors ever. And it is literally like velvet. It is so smooth. I think I'm definitely going to use this. Like, look at it. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm definitely going to be using that, but I think I'll go in with Blur. Blur is one of the transition shades from the palette. I'm going to take that one first. And I'm just picking that one up on a large fluffy brush. And I'm basically going to use it through the crease. This is going to be our first transition shade that we're going to lay down. It's actually, like, it looks very, very pale, very, very light in the palette. But it's actually a lot darker. You know, sort of once it's worked onto the skin. And it's a really nice neutral color too. Definitely a great transition shade for any palette. I'm going to move in with Boundaries now, this medium sort of warmer tone brown. Just on the same brush, I'm going to pick up a tiny little bit of this. This one also does appear to have like a little bit of shimmer to it. So just on the tip of the brush, I'm going to try that one through the crease as well, just to see what it looks like. Yeah, that's another beautiful transition shade. Ooh. I like that. The mattes are really, really nice, and I do think from what I saw from the swatches, they're a pretty good balance between pigment and blendability. I've spoken about this a lot before, and I've also told you guys, you know, a million times, don't ever judge a shadow from a swatch, and, you know, don't. Like, they're just not designed to be used like that. But I prefer shadows that are like a tiny little bit less pigmented, not shimmers obviously, and not, you know, this isn't referencing like really full-on bright colors, but, you know, everyday sort of shadows, like when they're matte, I like them to be a little bit less pigmented because they're just so much easier to blend. And for someone who's, you know, hasn't got years and years of experience blending out eyeshadows, you want something that's easy to work with, that's not going to be difficult, you know, to like create like a standard everyday look with. And so far these are doing that. All right, shifting down to a slightly smaller brush, and I will also quickly show you that last shade I used did have quite a bit of kickback in the pan. Nothing that I'm particularly concerned about, but I'm going to move into Bucked. This is one of the most beautiful, beautiful medium browns. Like, I loved the way this swatched, so I'm hoping it's going to be really nice on the lid. So I'm going to work that, starting directly in the outer corner and then sweeping towards the inner corner, really tightly putting that down right in the crease. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. They've definitely done well with this as far as, you know, really naked, everyday, easy to wear kind of shades. For me, this one is one of those shades where I'd blend it through the crease, I'd pack it onto the lid, and that'd be the entire eye look done. It's such a nice color. I'm gonna go, just switching back to the brush I started with and just buffing the edge of that. They're really, really smooth to work with. Also going to work that Bucked shade through the lower lash line. I mean, I can't really do a whole heap because I don't have any foundation on yet, but at least you can see the colours. It is just the most beautiful everyday neutral brown. Like, I love this. Probably, ooh, yeah, she's probably one of my favourite shades in the whole palette. So they're really smooth. They feel smooth. They're blending smoothly and they're not irritating my eyes. Sometimes when I blend shadows underneath my eyes, like my eyes really, really sting, and I'm not finding it with these at all. Now, I want to give the Deep Dark Matte Brown a run for its money. They're not always done that well, so we're going to see how this goes. I'm just going to take the same brush that I used to apply Bucked, and I'm going to pick up some of this one. It is a very, very pigmented, so I'm going to tap off the excess, and I felt like when I swatched it, it got sort of dark. It looked darker than it looked in the palette. I'm going to pack it in the outer corner and then start to blend. We'll see how this goes. Not bad, actually. Oh, wow. For a couple of seconds, that's actually blending out really, really well. Okay, I'm impressed with that. Notoriously, you know, some of the hardest shades like to sort of blend out, but that's blended out really well. Yeah, it really does blend out quite nicely for such a dark matte colour. Like, I'm pretty happy with this shade, definitely. It's good to see. Really, really good to see. Distilled here is another really beautiful smoky chocolatey brown. I'm going to give Dreamweaver a go because I just want to see how it performs. I'm going to try packing it on with a finger first. Like, it's just so chunky. I just don't know. Oh, it's not, I guess it's not packing on too bad. It's just a sort of an odd kind of a formula. It's a lot more chunky than I expected. It's actually not applying too bad, but it's definitely more of like a topper shade. It's not 100% opaque. Let's try a wet brush. All right, so I've just got a flat brush with some Fix Plus on it, and I'm going back into Dreamweaver. Even when doing this, like, it picks up so much. I don't know if you guys can see the texture of that on the end of my brush there, but it's very chunky. I'm gonna try on this eye. Okay, so it's quite intense with a wet brush. A little bit of moisture has really pulled that formula together, and it's turned it into almost, it's almost like a cream shadow, honestly. I like that way better. So I pretty much packed that over the entire lid there. And now we're going to want to probably blend the edges. Although while it's still damp, I'm going to pick that shadow up again. See how it goes. Yeah, so applying it over like a sticky or like a wet base definitely works as well. Okay, just taking a clean blending brush now. I'm going to just, oh, actually I might even pick up a little of Dreamweaver on that. I'm going to buff the edges just to sort of tone them down a bit. Now obviously this palette's got lots of beautiful coppers in it and stuff as well. I feel like you guys have seen me probably do enough copper eyeshadow looks, and they were beautiful on swatching, so I sort of feel confident not, you know, having to demonstrate. Oh, I haven't even removed that evenly. Good one. Yeah, I feel confident not demonstrating them. Okay, let's try out. I'm curious about this Angel Fire shade. It was another glittered topper, sort of a formula. Okay, so picking up Angel Fire, I'm going to try that on a pencil brush. Oh, it is actually a lot more reflective than I sort of expected it to be. It didn't swatch that well. I feel like it's, looking at it now, I think it's a very similar formula to what Dreamweaver was. So I'm going to try a wet brush. Ooh, picks up a lot with a wet brush. Let's try that. Oh my. Okay. Yeah, not so much atop of this one. This one's like pow. But yeah, with a wet brush. Oh, actually, I might pack a little copper in between this shade and Dreamweaver. Ooh, yes. I actually really like this one. I sort of was kind of leaning a bit towards like, seems a bit crappy. It's not at all. It's lovely. And it packs a punch. I wonder what it will be like on my brow bone. This is risky business. It's a little intense. Let's be real, I knew it would be. Instead of that one, I'm going to take Bribe on the brow bone. So Bribe is this one here. And it's like a demi, sort of a shimmery, really pearlescent light shade. It's a satin kind of a shimmer. Oh, okay, a lot of fallout on this one, but also a lot of payoff. Perfect brow bone colour, honestly. That's beautiful for on the brow bone. I love that, really do. And then finally, to finish things up, I think I will take a little, I might even mix them together, of Reputation and Burn, the two shimmery shades in the palette. So on that same sort of slightly damp brush, and I'm going to put them right here in between those two colours. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Burn's got more of like a, maybe a bit of a deeper, darker, nearly like a chocolatey kind of an undertone to it in comparison to, what's the other one? Reputation. All right, what I'm going to do now is actually go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup. And I'll be back to show you the final look once I've tidied this all up. All right, guys, so I'm back and I've got the rest of my makeup on. Not looking hopefully as scary as I was before. Eyeshadow always looks so bizarre until you've got like foundation on. I swear it's like a thing. Now that everything's done, I was happy before, but I am really happy with how the eyeshadow look turned out. You know, you guys saw my experience with the palette. Like I said, there were a couple of shades that I did have issues with. But for the most part, I do think that this is a really, really nice palette. I think that the formulas are beautiful. The Angel Fire and the Dreamweaver shades, you just need to use a wet brush with. Otherwise, they're just a little bit too chunky in my opinion. But the mattes are beautiful. They blend absolutely seamlessly. They're very buttery. They're very smooth. They're not choppy. The shimmers are gorgeous. There's lots and lots of payoff with those shimmers. There's lots of payoff with the mattes, but like I said earlier, I feel like it's a really good balance between like blendability and pigmentation. They've done it well. They've got it sitting really nicely in the middle, and what the result is like a palette that's really cohesive and just easy to work with. In terms of whether I think that you absolutely need this, that is 100% reliant on what palettes that you already have. If you are looking for a really, really good neutral, like naked, natural, nude sort of an eyeshadow palette, definitely I have absolutely no issues in recommending this to you. The quality of it's really, really nice. The packaging, like, the packaging is just beautiful and it's priced really, really well. In my opinion, like I said, it is cheaper than all of the other naked eyeshadow palettes. But then again, obviously, if you're an eyeshadow hoarder like me, and certainly, if you've got the soft glam palette or even the Naked Heat, like if you've already got the Naked Heat, I wouldn't say that this was necessarily something that you need, because I do feel like you've probably got in one palette or another all of these shades already. It really depends on, it's a personal thing, basically. If you've got heaps of nude palettes, probably give it a miss because you've probably already got it. But if you don't have heaps of nude palettes and you're after a nude palette, then it's a really, really, really pretty one. It's great quality, so it's a good one to consider. So I hope today's video was helpful, guys. I hope that it answered any questions you might have had about the brand new palette. Hopefully the swatches helped, and hopefully seeing, a close-up demonstration of all of the shades helped as well. And even like the palette comparisons. Like if you've got any more questions about, does it look like this palette? Is it like this palette? Please, by all means, feel free to pop them in the comments down below. I'll be hanging out down there answering all of your questions. And obviously, if you are not subscribed, please, please, please hit the subscribe button, and also make sure you hit the notification bell, because if you don't, you will not be notified of any of my new uploads. So yes, that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. I love you all so, so much, and I will catch you all in my next one. Bye!